Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Happy New Year. Welcome to And I Quote. This is a weekly show where we introduce you to some of the best creators from all over the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guest on this episode is a friend of ours from the great white north of Canada. Please welcome New York Times bestselling indie writer Darlene Oakley is in the building, boosting the ego as we go. Darlene, how are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm all ready for Snowmageddon.
Yeah. Just like the rest of 70% here in the U.S. and as well as our neighbors to the Great White North, They see this every day. So for them,
we're going to be very white.
Yeah, building a snowman. So for them, this is Wednesday. For us, this is a big storm coming our way. We need to be prepared as much as possible. But yes, well, we're happy that you're here, Darlene. We're also happy that you are here, maybe watching and listening to this program right now. So do not forget to like and share with your closest friends. If you are watching us live or on a replay, thank you so much for doing so. If you have any questions for Darlene Oakley as we go throughout the course of this episode, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. More than happy to take those as they come in, respectively. So with that out of the way, Darlene, what would you say were some of your favorite books or writers growing up as a youngling?
Oh, gosh. I have to say Dr. Seuss was always one. I think that I always enjoyed reading the little golden books. Used to have a whole collection of those. And I think the very first book I learned to read was A Fly Went By. It's been so long now. It just has a blue cover with a fly flying by. And that became one of my most favorite books. And Are You My Mother was another one. So those were some of my favorites. Just starting off reading. I'm sure most people have those in their childhood books section. And then I didn't really get into, reading more teenage adult stuff until quite a bit later. So that was about that. Anything I got assigned in school was what I read. That was it.
I understand that. I mean, yes, I do remember the gold books and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Berenstain Bears.
Yes,
we also there's another one. Yeah, there's a throwback, folks. Berenstain Bears. The Busy World of Richard Scarry.
Yes, Richard Scarry was another one.
Yeah, don't forget about Busy World of Richard Scarry. I mean, my favorite episode of the animated series this is going back in the day, was Mr. McFeely. I think it was it was Sergeant, the cop, Sergeant Cooper, whatever it was. Sergeant McFeely, something day off. That was my favorite one. That was my favorite episode. Sergeant Murphy's Day Off, I think it was, or something like that. So
yeah, McFeely is Mr. Rogers.
No, I'm thinking of I got too confused. I'm so sorry. By the way, won't you be my neighbor? So yeah, I mean, Fred Rogers, we miss him so much.
Yeah, we do.
That was a great show. It was a great show.
Yeah,
all of us grew up on it. You had like 4 or 5 different generations grew up watching that guy.
Yes.
Look into the camera and be so cool, so kind, so generous, and the neighborhood of make believe with the trolley. I mean, come on.
I love Trolley. Trolley was my favorite.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Mr. McFeely, speedy delivery.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, you remember that. But
every Saturday morning.
Every Saturday morning, we missed that too. Saturday morning cartoons are a thing of the past, unfortunately.
They really are. Yeah.
But there was Lady Aberlin, right? There was the X the Owl. There was Daniel Tiger.
Daniel Tiger. They turn into an animated.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep, that was for the new generation that was growing up with, different iterations, I would say, of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Daniel Tiger took over. And, hey, he did a good job for what he was given, and it was an animated show, so they wanted to take things in a bit of a different direction for a new audience, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You can still watch it. I believe full episodes are available on the PBS Kids YouTube channel, so you can go there for free and stream it. And also, you got to remember 123 Sesame Street. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know, Kermit the Frog here. You know, or Big Bird and Oscar, and my favorite was Cookie Monster.
Was it?
You know, yeah, Cookie Monster.
Mine was
cookies. You know,
Snuffleupagus.
Snuffleupagus. So you're a believer. You believe in Snuffleupagus.
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. Because Big Bird kept trying to convince.
I don't know if you guys had. I also believe in Pokeroo. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Polka Dot Door. That might have been just a Canadian thing, but if you look at Polka Dot Door on YouTube, you can probably find.
Okay.
Episodes.
I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm not familiar with this one.
The Polka Dot Door. The Polka Dot Door. Through the Polka Dot Door. Songs and stories and so much more. Don't come in to do the Polka Dot Door. Sorry.
Wow. Okay. Welcome to Saturday morning cartoons on Anti-Crime. Don't forget, exactly. Don't forget to like and share if you're watching us live on the replay. Thank you so much for joining us. Won't you be my neighbor? Well, here's another.
Don't get me singing that one.
I'm sorry. Well, here I don't know if you're familiar with this one or not, but I'm just curious. Does the words "bananas and pajamas" ring any bells?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you think we're not thinking
Bananas.
two?
Bananas are walking down the stairs.
All right. So she remembers. All right. So I'm not.
Yes.
So I wasn't the only person who remembers watching reruns of Bananas and Pajamas. Okay.
No, my older son absolutely loved that show.
Okay, so clearly I'm not alone in this. Thanks for
No.
Now I don't feel so alone anymore. Thank you so much. Now, going along with that, because it kind of segues into the next portion of this question. What would you say are some of your favorite movies, past or present?
Oh gosh, I have too many to.
Too many?
Yes.
Can you have too many? That's impossible.
I have my living room is full of DVDs and Blu-rays of my favorite movies. If I had to pick all-time favorites, Annie would have to be one.
Oh wow! Okay.
It was one of the first movies I saw in the theater.
Respect.
Superman, Christopher Reeve.
Oh, Christopher Reeve. Okay.
Sound of Music. Mary Poppins. Absolutely Mary Poppins. Do I have any more recent ones?
That is the question. To be or not to be? That is the question.
That is this question.
Sorry, that's a Shakespeare thing.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Sorry.
You haven't heard it until you heard it in the original Klingon.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I'm so sorry. But yes, no, I grew up in school. We had to learn Shakespeare, so I get it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yep. I got you.
So I'm trying to think, like Star Wars, Star Trek, somewhere. Which ones are my favorite in those?
That's okay.
Harry Potter. I'm a Potterhead.
You're a Potter. Which house are you in?
Ravenclaw.
Oh, you try. I'm in the golden one. I'm in Temple Gryffindor.
Are you Gryffindor? Oh, okay.
And Gryffindor took the quiz.
And my Patronus is, I think it's Luna's. I think it's the otter.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Kind of neat. Yeah.
No, that's understandable. It's okay. Ravenclaw and Slytherin.
Ew.
No. I was quoting Maggie. She's like, here, because she says in the beginning of when they get to Hogwarts, she's like, we have 4 houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin. And then Draco Malfoy just grins from ear to ear. I'm like, yeah, well, of course you belong to Slytherin.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, the hat doesn't even touch his head, and he's in Slytherin.
I know he does. Yeah, that's right. That was one of the scenes featured in the original film. That's right. It barely touches his head, and it's like Slytherin. And then Harry is chomping at the bit. He's like, please, not Slytherin. Please, you could be great, okay, your house will be great.
Anything but Slytherin.
Yeah. Well, he kept begging the hat not to say Slytherin, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But good picks, though. The Harry Potters, the Star Treks, is your favorite Star Wars movie Empire?
No.
It's not Empire Strikes Back?
No, beef.
Shocked. I'm shocked.
Oh, no. My favorite of the original Holy Trilogy, as my brother calls it, was Return of the Jedi.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually hated Empire.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not.
You've got a serious amount of guts to admit on national television. This is national television that you do not like
I've
Empire.
never liked that movie. No,
At all?
at all. I mean, I'll watch it. It's not one of those movies where like I absolutely the only Star Wars movie I will not watch over and over again is Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I can get with that. I can get with that. That just, I mean, the way it all came together so fast, so easy. It's just you didn't take your time, and it could have had a better build up, in my opinion. I think it could have had a much better build up. The seedlings to be planted, the duplicity. But there's just so much better they could have done with those 3 movies. I'm sorry, but it's just the honest truth.
I just found it like really supremely disturbing, like the whole battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan in the end. Like that was just that's not something I want to watch again.
Okay, I'm Mustafar. Yeah,
I'm Mustafar.
Mustafar, though.
But and then Rogue One came out, and I think I've watched Rogue One more than I've watched Empire. So
I love.
And then of course, once you finish watching Rogue One, you have to watch
New
Star
Hope.
Wars.
Yep.
No,
Star Wars. Sorry. I get it. I mean, it is Hope, but it is Star Wars at the same time. So yes, I agree with you.
Because it just flows right in.
It flows right in. That's right.
You have to finish the story.
Oh, you have to, because by the way, full disclosure, when we saw Rogue One in the theater, and even though it was CGI and it was an actress who they digitized Carrie Fisher's on her, doesn't matter, because when I saw that, we were freaking that. Like, we were losing our minds. I'm like, this is Carrie Fisher, 1977.
Yeah.
And the guy hands her the key or the disc and says, the transmission we received. What is it they sent us? Hope. And I'm like, oh my, like that is a perfect way.
And they've mastered that even more since.
But it's so good though. It ends the movie so perfectly, and then it ropes right into the next one.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, Rogue One could have been a disaster, but that movie turned out to be one of the best.
And that hallway scene with Darth Vader, that's what we've been waiting for.
Everybody lost their minds.
That was amazing. I'm like, oh my god.
It's a horror movie.
But people are about to die, and we're sitting there going, oh, this is going to be good. Right? And then it kind of sets up, I don't know if you guys watched, I think it's Rebels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched Rebels. I did.
The Darth Maul hallway scene with 501 Squadron.
Yes. Yeah.
And then in Mandalorian, when spoiler alert, when Luke arrives and
1983. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's 1988 because Mandalorian takes 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, so it would be circa 1988 for those who trying to keep up with the years at home. But still, we lost our minds.
Yeah, totally.
Everybody who's anybody.
I had totally lost my mind when Luke showed up, and then I lost it even more when R2 appeared. I'm like, that was just the icing on the cake for me.
Yep. That was, you know what they say, right, Darlene? This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. So I love Mandalorian. I love it all.
I have spoken.
Yeah. See, Darlene coming in clutch at the end there. No, I completely understand. There have been some great moments in Star Wars. There have been some disappointing moments in Star. I mean, every franchise doesn't bat 1,000. They never. Yeah. But Rogue, for me anyway. This is just what works for me. Rogue One, and then before that with Force Awakens. Say what you will. I
like Force Awakens.
I love Force Awakens. I love Rogue One. The first 2 films out of the gate during the quote-unquote Disney era were out of the park. And then it just went downhill from there. But we don't have to talk about that.
No, we can skip that.
We can skip that part. But what we do...
That's like getting into politics, religion.
Too much. But just out of curiosity, though, what's your favorite Star Trek movie?
Favorite Star Trek movie?
Yeah, Star Trek. We talked about the wars, but let's talk about the Trek for a minute.
Yeah, let me see.
Because I like Trek. I do.
I do too.
I like Trek. I have my favorites.
If we go by the one I've watched the most, it's probably Insurrection.
Really?
Between Insurrection and Beyond.
Ooh. These are definitely outside the box. I'm not used to
And
hearing this.
I like Into Darkness because I love Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan.
Dude, he was so
He was
and
incredible.
conniving.
Yeah.
He was threatening. I mean, just the way, the fact that he could go from playing Sherlock Holmes to this.
Yes, and I loved him in Sherlock.
Sherlock was great.
I absolutely loved him in Sherlock.
Now, granted, I didn't see Sherlock until after the fact, but I did catch up on it, by the way.
Yeah.
So I can say this. I have credibility here. And otherwise, I wouldn't be doing the show and I wouldn't have a job. But
and I could see the parallels between Sherlock and as Doctor Strange as well.
yeah, that's another one.
The Bleecker Street address.
Yeah.
Total play on 221 Baker Street.
221B. That's right. 221B. Yeah, Benedict is great. I think he's a great actor. I wish him nothing but success. But yeah, him as Khan. And this is going to sound like sacrilege to you Star Trek fans. So this is just my opinion. I enjoyed Into Darkness a lot more than Star Trek II Wrath of Khan. I'm sorry.
Really? Okay, you might lose a lot of viewers that way.
Probably, but
up until that movie, Wrath of Khan was my favorite.
I got you. I understand.
Although it's tied with Star Trek 6. I like Star Trek 6 too.
That's another one, which, by the way, fun fact for you, and for those of you watching or listening to this program, knows Andy Quote right now, Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, if I remember correctly, is celebrating its, I believe it's 40th anniversary later this year.
Are we that old?
I'm sorry, yes. And we're going to be doing a movie watch-along of that right here on this very YouTube channel that you are witnessing right now. So I'm going to be sitting here in the captain's chair because you mean, look at me. I'm the captain now. So I'm going to be hosting it, and my friends, Case, a.k.a. the Dutch Star Wars guy on YouTube. He's a good friend of ours, and that's his YouTube channel, the Dutch Star Wars guy. But he loves Star Trek. You can like both. You don't have to pick one or the other. You can like both. He's going to be sitting here in the studio. We're going to be you're basically watching us watch the movie, but you can watch the movie along with us from the comfort of your own home. And that's what we encourage you as a viewer to do. Queue up the movie on physical media streaming, and we do give out timestamps every few minutes to let people know where we are within the film so you can catch up or whatever. But yes, we are going to be doing a watch along for not only Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, but also Star Trek First Contact turns 30. Turns 30.
Wow.
And that's my favorite Star Trek movie of all time is First Contact. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love.
Are you doing the extended edition of Undiscovered Country?
I don't think we are. I think we're going to stick to the theatrical cut just so we can get more people to, be involved in the chat and more viewers and all that stuff. Because
that's another one where once you watch the extended edition.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up and probably buy a copy of it because I do in fact like Star Trek 6. I do like that movie. So I'm willing to sit down and watch a director's cut of that film at some point. Don't worry, it's on the watch list, folks. But yes, no, we are going to be celebrating Star Trek in more than one way this year. We got Star Trek 6, Star Trek First Contact. Cannot wait to do those watch-alongs. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you, who are watching or listening to this program right now, are invited to join us once we post the links and once we get it going. It'll be happening, I think, somewhere closer to the end of the year. So stay tuned for that. More information will come out as it becomes available. With that being said, we are here with the guest of honor, Darlene Oakley, on this episode.
Wow, I'm a guest of honor.
You are, because you're awesome sauce. And do not forget to like and share this video with all of your closest friends. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat. And if you think that everything I'm saying about Star Trek is sacrilege, that's fine. Light your torches, bring on the pitchforks. I can handle it. They don't call me the king of hot takes for nothing on this show.
Is that what they really call you?
No, I'm making this up as I go. But there's another movie for you. I'm making this up as I go. That movie turns 45 this year. Raiders of the Lost Ark turns 40.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You're making me feel old,
I'm sorry. I'm making you feel young. But yes, we are going to be sitting here doing a watch-along of Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of the greatest adventures/movies of all time. So, and a lot of people have considered it to be a perfect movie. So,
yeah,
you really can't argue that. You really can't. Spielberg at his peak.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, that was one for the books. But aside from that, Darlene, when did you start writing?
I've been writing since I was 7 years old.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Very long time, actually. I mean, you're only 20. You're only 25, and already you've been writing since you were 7. It's insane.
Yeah. No, it was one of those things where I guess that's all I've ever wanted to do is write. And as soon as I put pen to paper, my teachers picked up on the fact that I love to write, and I have this knack for piecing words together and punctuation and spelling and all that. And they would send me to writing clubs and camps and things. I was in one, I think I was in grade 7 at the time. And my teacher sent me to a writer's camp that was actually mostly grade 12. So, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, I guess what I'm doing is good, because like I was obviously the youngest one there. I kind of felt like a hobbit in amongst, all the big people. And yeah, that's all I've wanted to do is write and sing.
My goodness gracious! Well, I tell you what, Darlene. Even the smallest person can change the course of the future.
Yeah.
All right. See.
Great. Single grain of rice. Yeah.
Well, among other things, yes. So, you got it right. Sorry, I thought I just dropped some Lord of the Rings on you and inspire you, because that's what I try to do on these shows. Not very successfully, I might add, but I try every time. Even though my master always tells me, do or do not. There is no try. So, I mean, you're right, Yoda. You're right. And I'm not going to look as good as you were at 900 years old, okay? So when I reach 900, I'm not going to look as good as Yoda did in Return of the Jedi, which is, according to Darlene, that's her favorite Star Wars movie of all time. And I respect that, too. I really do. I really, really do. I really do. There's a lot to like.
The original Return of the Jedi, not the new one.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying that there is something to be said about enjoying Return of the Jedi. It's a very good movie, and I still like it to this day. I mean, you get a space battle, a land battle, and a lightsaber duel, all in the span of 30 minutes in the last act of that movie. And I'm thinking to myself, can I be on Endor fighting away at the stormtroopers, please? Because I really want to be in the middle of the action. Yeah. So that's just me, though. I can't speak for everybody. But, what was his name? Those Ewoks, whatever they're called. Wicket. Wicket is the Ewok that that was one of the reddish brown suit. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, My son now has nightmares about Ewoks because he played too much Battlefront.
Ooh.
And you have to spend a whole night on Endor, and it's
a good game, though.
It is a good game.
Battlefront is an incredible game. I've played it. I played the original Battlefront 2 when they were coming out for PS2 and Xbox back in the day, Darlene. Those are fun games. There's no doubt about it. You actually feel like you're in the middle of the action.
Yeah.
That's the reason I love those two games respectively for PlayStation. # not sponsor of this show.
No.
With that being said, though, what would you say are some of the rewards about being a writer?
The reward for me, I think there's probably two. One is I'm naturally a very creative person. It's one of my outlets. And it's something I've already mentioned. I'm pretty good with spelling and grammar and punctuation, that sort of thing. So I don't really have to worry about the technicalities of writing. I can just sit and do it. And it gets all these voices out of my head for all the stories I have. And along with that is, obviously a writer wants people to enjoy what you have written. Like, it's not just about writing drivel. You want people to, when people pick up your book, you want them to say, hey, when is book 2 coming out? I've actually gotten a lot of those comments for Inner Sanctum Remnant. One of them, I have some pretty good reviews on it. I'm very pleased with the reviews I've got, but the one that means the most to me was from, I think she was about 12, 13-ish. And the book is really aimed for like 16 up, but her mom thought it was fine. So she came, when a young person comes to you and even just tells you, hey, I'm really enjoying the book. I'm almost done. When's book 2 coming out? That probably means that means a lot more than an adult saying it. I don't know what it is. But then that family has kind of been going through some difficult times in the last few months, and her mom mentioned that she had read the book like backwards and forwards, and had really taken inspiration from my main character, Aurora. And that was just like, someone's actually been inspired by something I wrote. Like, it's had a positive influence on her life. I mean, you can't get much better than that. And then I'm sitting here thinking, well, no pressure now, Dar. You have to continue that and the rest of the series. Because I just hope I can live up to this girl's expectations now.
I got you. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Do greatly appreciate it. Opposite side of the fence, though, what are some of the challenges about being a writer?
The challenges is you still have to pay bills before you become that New York Times bestseller. Before you can live off royalties, I think what most writers don't realize is how much work actually goes into marketing and promotion. I think it really catches them off guard. But marketing and promoting is like a full-time job. I already have a full-time job. So there's 2 full-time jobs, and then you're trying to finish your next book, which is another full-time job. And then, most of us do have families and a house to look after. And it's finding time for all these things that are really important. And then also making sure you still have time to do nothing. Because sometimes doing nothing leads to the very best of something, to quote Winnie the Pooh. So yeah, that's the biggest challenge, biggest struggle for me is really balancing everything and getting book 2 out. I had originally hoped to have book 2 out last June, and my brain didn't crank out the story fast enough, and life kind of happens sometimes, and here we are, end of January, and I still haven't typed the end yet. So but I find it's important to not get too down on yourself. So a lot of people I know have daily writing quotas that they like to meet, or weekly writing numbers that they like to hit. And I'm like, for me, sometimes the main victory is opening my laptop. That's it. And then once I open my laptop, my eyes can be very sensitive to light and too much screen time. So there may be a time where I just open up the laptop and my eyes are going, nope, that's enough screens for today. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not doing that today. But don't beat yourself up just because you can't meet someone else's target. You have your own target. Don't compare yourself to someone else.
Very, very good piece of advice, because I actually tend to do this more so than I should, often than I shouldn't, is compare myself to others. Because every time I hear, and by the way, I'm not, throwing shade at anybody. I'm not trying to disrespect it, because I'm in a writer's Discord with a bunch of wonderful people right now. And specifically, just to give everyone a bit of context here, it's called the Men's Adventure Fiction Discord. There's both men and women in this Discord, and we all share, hey, how's it going with your story? What have you been up to? What is it you're piecing together? And then we sometimes post our rough drafts in the Discord saying, hey, we'd like some feedback on this. We want to hear your 2 cents, which is great, by the way. There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
My thing is that any time somebody posts, oh, I'm 4,000 words in, oh, I'm 20,000 words in, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. I got the rough draft done. I'm in the process of finishing up the edits, and then I'm going to send it off to here to get formatted and to get printed and to get the cover going and all this other stuff, which I'm happy for them. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for them because we're all there to support each other. It's not a competition.
Those are milestones that need to be celebrated.
Yeah, it never is a competition. I want to make that perfectly clear. But I will say that I found myself comparing myself to other people when I shouldn't. Because every time I hear that their numbers are higher than mine, I start doubting myself. I start beating myself up and kind of throwing myself to the curb and letting the stormtrooper, kick at me for a little bit, maybe throw his blaster at me, like, "Hey, what are you doing here? I need to see your papers." It's or some stormtroopers will walk over to me and say, "Move along,
Move along.
get out of here." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I can't. I'm stuck in this space, and I'm trying to figure a way out." I mean, sometimes I'm able to get back on the horse and keep going. Sometimes I struggle to get back on the horse, but that's like you were saying. It's okay. Everybody writes at their own pace, their own speed, and all this other stuff. And plus, I'm writing something I've never written before, which is a novella that has to be between 15 to 35,000 words. I've never done anything more than 5. So this is way outside the comfort zone, right, Darlene? Yeah. This is outside my depth. This is a Jedi Knight becoming a Jedi Master in less than 2.5 seconds.
Right.
And it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not pretty easy, my love. It is not easy. So
It's not.
I am, I guess, kind of pacing myself in a way, and I'm also letting the story just come to me.
Yeah.
Because when I write these stories, to be perfectly honest, for those of you who are wondering the terminology of this, I'm a pantser. I write by the seat of my pants. I pull a Raiders every day of the week and twice on Sunday, Darlene. How are you going to get to this? I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
Yeah.
And I just keep going because certain elements of the story hit me, and I know what I'm doing, and then sometimes they don't, and I got to wait a bit.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm part plantster and part pantster.
Really?
Certain parts of the story I have to plan out. Like my Inner Sanctum, the whole series is sci-fi, but not spaceships and aliens. And there's a lot of medical sci-fi, a lot of medical science in there. There's a lot of geological science in there. And book 1 takes place in what we know kind of as Sudbury. I don't know that we call it the Sudbury, Ontario is kind of known as the armpit, jokingly as the armpit of Ontario. I don't know what, but the geology, the Canadian Shield, made for an absolute perfect structural support for an underground city. Book 2 takes place in Benalla, Australia, which is about 4 hours away out of Sydney, or out of Melbourne. And so to write a book that takes place in a completely different country that I don't have money enough to go down there and explore myself, plus I'm afraid of their giant spiders and things. So that there's a lot of research that goes into that. I had to explore their geology of the region I was planning to use and figure out how I'm going to work into my story. So all that stuff is stuff I need to know about the environment I'm writing about. The character interactions, there's certain things in my brain that said, I would like this to happen. I would like this to happen. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do that. Some of the main ones, I'll jot those down. Even if I don't actually use them in the story, I want to jot them down because it gives my brain something to chew on. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I use OneNote for my brainstorming. And it gets those thoughts out of my head. I get to a certain point of the story and I'll be thinking, well, now what did I want to do about this? And I'll go and check my notes of how I wanted the story to go. And more often than not, the story that comes out of my fingers is not what I wrote down in my in my Post-it notes or napkin notes. But it gives my brain direction, something to work with while I'm trying to piece the story together. That's so plantster and pantster.
So basically you get the best of both worlds. It's kind of like getting all 31 flavors at Baskin-Robbins.
Yes.
Which anybody remember that from many eons ago? I know Baskin-Robbins is still a thing. It's still around, but you don't see quite as many of them anymore. Some of them have closed.
And unfortunately, I'm lactose intolerant. So
sorry.
I can't have real ice cream.
I'm very sorry. I'm sorry you can't experience the greatness that is 31 flavors at Baskin-Robbins.
Ice cream.
It's okay. It's okay. You got to do what's best for you and your health. So that's another thing we got to take into consideration here, folks. What is something else you need to take into consideration is sharing this with all of your friends, because this has been an epic conversation with Darlene Oakley thus far. And I quote, do not forget to like and share. If you're joining us live on the replay, thank you for doing that. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments or let us know in the chat. Any other pieces of advice you would offer to aspiring writers out there, Darlene?
What would I say that I haven't said already? Well, this is a deep question.
It's okay. You can always just say, "Can I buy a vowel?" Or or you know what? Just watch the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings. That's the best advice I can give you.
Phone a friend. No, I covered the. Don't put yourself under too much pressure. Don't compare yourself to others. The marketing, which people always struggle with. And I think this has come out of a couple of conversations I've had recently with people. A lot of people choose the self-publishing route because it's much easier and definitely much faster than doing all the legwork to find an agent or a traditional publisher and create the cover letter. Who likes writing cover letters? Synopses. No one likes writing those. And we used to do this all by mail, like snail mail. I've been doing this since before there was email. We used to do this all by snail mail, and you would send these out and wait 18 months before they would get back in touch with you. Obviously it's a lot faster than that. And someone said recently that, it made it seem like I think people underestimate how much work actually goes into putting a book together, not just writing the story. The investment in an editor. Please invest in a good editor. Don't use AI. Please don't use AI. But even if you're self-publishing, you need to take pride in what you're putting out in front of people. So don't just put out whatever. If you want people to come back and say, hey, when is book 2 coming out? You need to make your product as good as it possibly can be. Don't just say, okay, this is, I'm taking kind of the shorter route to get to where I want to be, but don't put out crap. And just for the sake of getting something out. Find a good editor, find a good beta readers group. Take pride in what you're putting out there. Make sure your formatting is correct. Please indent your paragraphs. Please use first line indents and not tabs. I'm probably giving away all my editorial secrets here too.
Oh dear.
Oopsie.
A magician never reveals thy secrets.
No, but I mean these are basic things. People don't really think that there's a craft to it, and there is. There's more than just. Not everybody's a great speller. That's okay. That's what editors are for. But take pride in what you're putting out there. Whatever cover design you go with, whether it's AI, which I hate, but or an actual real human being, make sure you're putting out the best thing you can possibly put out. Don't just cut corners because you're doing you think it's easy. It's not. It really isn't. It seems easier and faster. But I had, at the time I just actually, Under Sanctum Remnant is a republished. I re-released that under my own brand. It took like 15 to 20 years of book publishing experience for me to actually feel comfortable publishing my own book. So, yeah, so it's not as easy as you think. And there's still things I'm learning. Audiobooks were not a thing when Inner Sanctum was first published. Ebooks were barely a thing when Inner Sanctum was first published. That's how much the industry has changed in the last 15 years.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Man, 20 years. That's something I haven't heard in a long time. A long time. Anyway, that's can't help it. I love that movie so much. It's such a great movie. It just is. It is, yeah. It really is, and it gets better every time I watch it. It's ridiculously awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, honestly, when he shows up in the desert and when they go to the cantina and all what do you call it? All heck breaks loose.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and Han Solo shows up. Sorry about the mess.
And Han shot first, by the way.
Yeah, we all know the Han shot first. You know, this the crank score that got. Yes, I bet you have. Anyway, just say it.
I'm gonna have to watch that now.
Yeah, we're all gonna watch it now. Yeah, because I don't know if you knew this or not, but next year they're gonna re-release it in theaters for its 50th anniversary. And Darlene's gonna be sitting there, front row center.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, we actually like the middle row about.
Well, whatever. You know what I mean. Front row center, middle of the pack, whatever it is. Yeah. We all have our favorite seats. But Darlene, you're going to be there opening night. You're going to be there opening night. You're going to be sitting there in your Star Wars swagger, and you're going to enjoy the living heck out of that movie for the nth time. So,
yeah, I've lost count.
You've lost count. I've lost. You know, to be perfectly honest with you, I think I've lost count of how many times I've watched Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's great. But anyway, that. You know what they say.
Favorite movie. I remembered another movie I wrote completely.
Oh, did you?
Completely different subject. Anne of Green Gables.
Oh, I haven't heard that one in a long time. Yeah.
The Kevin Sullivan 3-part series that he did in 1990 something.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
Respect. Okay, I can dig it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah, she was the whole Anne character was very much an inspiration for me. Like, she has a way of looking at her world. Like, she comes from what most of us would consider very hard, very depressing upbringing. She was her parents both died when she was an infant. She was raised by people that didn't love her in a culture where orphans were blamed for being orphans. And yet she always saw the beauty in everything around her. And later on in the second movie, she meets up with a teacher that was brought up very much in the same elements, same environments, but was completely jaded about those, about how she grew up and was living her life. And reminded her, you've shut out life, and now life is shutting you out. So you've got these two people who are raised pretty much the same, two totally opposite ends. One is inspired by everything she sees, and one thinks life is a dirge and just something to get through. So, like, Anne has always been an inspiration to me about seeing the wonder in the worlds around us. You know, muggles don't notice anything. Don't be a muggle. Notice the magic that's around you every day.
Wow, good advice. Wow, the more you know. Once again, had to do it once. Once again, this is a night quote with Darlene Oakley. Don't forget to like and share. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. Speaking of great reads, great books, great characters, let's take a look at this for a second. So, Inner Sanctum Remnant, what exactly is this, and how did this story come about?
Well, it started out actually when I watched the movie City of Ember. I don't know if you're familiar with the City of Ember series. It was an underground city with these kids that are just looking for a way out. Their generator is failing. And they realize that their city is doomed, and so they try to find a way out of the city. And I love that movie. I watched it I don't know how many times now. And every time I watched it, I ended up filling in more blanks as to what I wanted in my story. So Inner Sanctum Remnant Inner Sanctum, the original, was supposed to be, at least in my napkin notes, was going to be a murder mystery. Like, this is a utopian society. Nobody dies unnaturally. What happens when someone's body is discovered who didn't die naturally? And so it was supposed to be a murder mystery. Did not come out that way at all. I did not intend for it to be as science fiction as it came out. So Inner Sanctum Remnant is about takes place in the 26th century? 26th century Canada, post-apocalyptic. So this is about 400 years after the end of the last World War. And the people as a result of where the experts at the time saw things going, they decided to build 4 underground cities, pretty much one for each continent, where a remnant of the society of people, human beings at the time, would be saved. And so the idea was that eventually they would come out and repopulate the earth and rebuild from the ashes of what was left behind. So that's what Inner Sanctum Remnant became. And the 2 main characters are Den and Aurora. Den is the mayor's assistant. Aurora is a family control officer. As you might imagine, a contained environment, civilization like that would have to have controls in place, so to avoid overpopulation and just to keep everybody healthy. But they realize that they've been given a mandate to look at expanding their town, Inner Sanctum, or Egerton is the name of the town. And in investigating various locations in the city where they could possibly expand, they discover the door to the surface, which everyone has forgotten about. And they also discover that their population is actually not growing, it is shrinking. And that the builders were originally concerned about long-term exposure to stuff like radon and lack of vitamin D, like no sunlight down there, and all those effects on people and the effects of inbreeding for 400 years over time would have on people. And so they discover that the key to the survival of their civilization is to return to the surface. But of course, post-World War, they have no idea what upper world Earth is like. So it could pose just as much of a threat to them as staying underground.
My goodness gracious. Well, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Oh, good.
And not only that, this sounds 10 billion times better than what we got in the Divergent laundry detergent series with Shailene Woodley. And listen, I like the Hunger Games, but this sounds better than Divergent and Hunger Games combined, in my opinion. So this sounds really, really good, by the way.
Well, at the time I originally wrote it, someone had said there's a pocket for this, because Hunger Games was just finishing up and there was nothing really to take that space.
At the time, yes.
But I couldn't get it finished. I had too much life happening. Divergent, I hadn't read. I had picked up the books at one point, and then an editor friend of mine said it wasn't actually very good. So I got rid of it, so I haven't read it. But yeah, it's kind of meant to be like that. I mean, it's still kind of challenging. I'm kind of a cross between Tolkien and Disney, where books need to be fun, need to be entertainment, and also do kind of need to challenge people and get them thinking, what would I do I were in this position, if I were in the position in the book. Get them to identify with the characters and take them into a world where they're imagining themselves in it, participating in it, not just reading, but walking through it, smelling and experiencing it. So book 2 follows Dan and Aurora. They actually do make contact with the other 4 cities, and surprisingly have encountered people who did survive the Third World War. And I explained, you'll have to read the book to find out how. But there were other survivors. There were other places, because only a certain amount of people could be selected to be part of the Inner Sanctum, to be part of that civilization. And I cover this actually in book 3. That's book 3 is going to be a prequel, an in between quill prinkle. I don't know. But the character in book 3 is introduced in books 1 and 2. So you do kind of have to, you won't know who she is or the significance of what she's doing unless you read books 1 and 2. So yeah, there are little pockets scattered around the globe of people who have survived. And in book 2, I've already mentioned Dan and Aurora go to Australia to visit that. That was another Inner Sanctum world. So they meet those people, the descendants of those people who lived in the underground city there. There's one in England that I call Nelson. And that one's going to be in book 4. And book 5 is Diaspora, I think. And it actually, there was also an Amazonian underground city that they were going to explore, because no one has heard from them. And they wanted to see if there was anything left of it. So that one takes place in the Amazon. So I'm really kind of all over the globe here. And there's more to come. I actually had another book in mind for the series about, because it's, 400 years in the future. That's even beyond Star Trek years, Star Trek Next Gen years anyway. By that time they had been traveling the stars. So, I mean, I could land some sort of city on the moon, or I think I had Ceres in mind at the time, kind of as the gateway between the inner planets and outer planets. So I don't know, maybe.
We'll find out as we go along. Yes. No, that's really cool. That's really cool. Congratulations on all that. That is fantastic. Look forward to seeing where this goes and seeing the next. Yeah, I know, right? When's this coming? I don't know.
I want to see it on screen. That's what I would really like to see it
on
screen.
Oh, okay. Well, if it gets adapted into, if your series, the Inner Sanctum gets adapted as a live action or animated series, who could you see playing some of these characters, whether as a voice actor or as a live action iteration of these characters?
One of the main characters, Imogen Heinen, she's the geneticist that helped select all the people to go into the town. So she's actually the main character in book 3, which is my prequel. And for her, I actually have Jodie Foster in mind for that one.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I know, Clarice. I'd be really happy. For the mayor of Egerton, who's kind of not very mentally healthy, let's put it that way.
Right.
So I had John Noble in mind for him.
Wow, from Fringe. Okay.
Yeah, because he does those quirky, kind of slightly insane people really well.
Yep.
Roles really well. I had for Dom, who is the chief medical officer, I had Brendan Fraser, because I wanted someone with a kind of a quirky sense of humor that
Rick
that
O'Connell.
doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mummy. Rick
Yeah.
O'Connell. Yeah, bring him back. He's making a heck of a comeback. Good on him.
Yes, he is. Yeah, much deservedly so. He deserves it. Aurora. Who did I have to plant? I don't know if I had someone in mind for Aurora.
Jennifer Lawrence? No, I'm just kidding.
No, definitely not Jennifer Lawrence.
Not Katniss? All right.
No. I'll have to think about that one. So I did have actually a movie promotional package done up, but I forget who I chose as that character. But I actually, for Den, I had Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah, now you sold me. I'm in. Henry Cavill's my dog. He's my boy. He's in the most criminally underrated comic book movie of all time, known as Man of Steel. I freaking love that movie. He did a great job. Whatever happened behind the scenes, the creative differences, whatever it was, the studio, excuse me for saying this, screwed him over. It wasn't Henry's fault. It was not Henry's fault.
No.
Henry's the man. He owned that part. He is hashtag lack of boast. So, and by the way, if they ever do this, I don't think they're going to, because I think they're aiming towards a younger actor to play this role, which I understand, because you want to keep the younger actor playing this specific character for a really long time. But if they were to cast someone a bit older to play 007, get Henry Cavill as James freaking Bond, okay? Because that guy was born to play that role. Oh, he was born. Did you know, fun fact, for those of you watching or listening to this program knows, and I quote, Henry Cavill was second in line to play James Bond back in 2006 before Casino Royale was being filmed. So if Daniel Craig didn't get the role, it would have gone to Henry.
Yeah.
It would have gone to Henry. And I would have said, yes. Because Henry is my dog. He's the man. So yeah, I want to see Henry do everything. Henry can play any role, any place, anytime, anywhere. He is one of the most styling and profiling dudes in the business today. So if you want to have him in the Inner Sanctum series, Darlene, sign me up, because I am down. I want to see him play any character. Any character. Yeah,
no, that would be great. And then for book 2, I guess I'm thinking I have to have Hugh Jackman in there somewhere.
Hugh Jackman. Yeah. Logan. His name's Logan, not Wolverine. He quit that role 10 years ago. But anyway, his name is Logan. Anyway, just throwing it out there. But yes, Hugh Jackman. Yeah, let him play it.
And the Helmsworths. Get Thor in there, Chris Helmsworth.
You want Chris to be in that?
Yeah.
Oh, you want Chris and Liam to be in the Inner Sanctum series?
Well, and book 2, because it's in Australia, so I need Aussies, right? So.
Oh, you need Aussies. Yeah, we got some horses over here going down the paddock. Anyway, did you see that clip of Chris bumping into that news reporter when she was doing her weather forecast?
Yes, actually, I don't know if it was her, but I saw Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, Hiddleston. You mean Tom Hiddleston? Yeah. That was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
But when Chris bumps into this woman who's trying to do a weather report, and she's got the horses down that hill in the I
saw that one.
Okay, well, Chris just casually walks into camera view, and he says, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" And she says, "Yeah, I'm trying to do this weather forecast here, but I'm having a little bit of trouble. Can you read these out for me?" And he says, yeah, Adelaide will be 50 degrees. Was it like 10 degrees and cloudy? It's going to be over here. It was so funny. It was, and clearly the girls were, wanting to probably make out with him, but still,
who doesn't?
They were maintaining professionalism during the during the live weather report shoot. But still, yeah, the coworker who was in the studio had her jaw on the floor the whole time, and then the one who was holding the microphone to Chris, she was just sweating. She was sweating. Let me just put it to you that way. I'm not going to get any further into that because I'm not trying to disrespect anybody here, but I can see that. But yes, Inner Sanctum, if this does get adapted, kudos to you and the casting agents, because that is some great casting, with all due respect. My next question to you is simply this. Have there been any special memories for you from being at book signings or other events, whether you're there as a vendor or there as an attendee?
I haven't done very many of those, so I don't have anything really that stands out, actually. No, I don't really think I haven't. I've only done like 2 book signings at craft shows. No, actually, I don't have really much success at book signings, you mean? Book signings. No,
I'm sorry.
That's not been my
Hmm. Well, I hope you revisit it at some point. We wish you the best of success with those events. Hope a lot of people come out, buy copies of your books, and
You too.
get them
They're also
signed.
available on my website.
That's very true. They're available on the website and the Zon.
Yep,
The Zon, it's there too, because that's a wild jungle out there.
it is.
So pretty much find pretty much anything on that site nowadays. Honestly, it's the things that people find. It's amazing stuff. It really is. Where do you, just out of curiosity though, where do you see indie writing and publishing going the next 5 to 10 years? Think it's going to continue to grow and get more and more people involved, or do you think it's going to shrink, or do you completely think, or you're kind of neutral on it? What do you think?
I think it's going to continue to expand because the big publishing houses are so selective. It's so hard to get into those. The reason self-publishing and indie publishing has gone the way it's gone is because there are a lot of people with great books out there whose books don't get to see the light of day because there are so many roadblocks to getting involved with the big publishers. So as someone who's worked with, I didn't work with big publishers, I worked with other smaller ones, but gained the experience of how to put a book, like end-to-end book production. And that was, relatively easy for me and it made more sense for me to do my own book rather than to try to get someone else to do it. I get to keep creative control over what I've written, over what images I want. But I hope one of the criticisms of indie and self-publishing though is the quality of book that's put out. And I would hope that the future of indie and self-publishing will be that it almost overtakes the big publishing houses. That things like the New York Times bestseller list, something like in Canada, we have the Globe and Mail, CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. A lot of the contests where you get the Booker Prize, you get nominated for the Booker Prize and that sort of thing, are really only for traditionally published books. And that eliminates so many titles. And I'm really hoping eventually that those sorts of contests will also be open to self-published. That was one of the disappointments in trying to submit Inner Sanctum for contests, and I did win a couple contests. The International Impact Book Award for the sci-fi category in August 2025, got that. And the Book Fest awards, also in sci-fi. But those actually cost quite a bit of money. And the big ones were really only for traditionally published books. It was very discouraging, actually, because here's, if I already won 2 awards, why not keep trying for more. But you couldn't get them in there. And some of the awards you might want to submit to have admission fees that are just, for a little bitty independent person. You don't have that kind of budget. So that's where I hope to see it. I hope it'll become more mainstream than it is. That the perception that indie and self-published books are crap will start changing as people start concentrating and honing their craft and making sure that what they're publishing is up to standard. Without, the big 5. Are we at big 5? Maybe. Looking down on the rest of these, and because there some crap on the New York Times bestseller list too. There are some books on that list that I've picked up, and I'm if I tried to submit that to a publisher, it would have been rejected. And as you know, with 25 years experience as a professional editor as well, I'm reading through some of these things. I'm like, how did this thing even get published? Because and I won't name any names or titles or anything, because book enjoyment is somewhat subjective. So what I might not enjoy, someone might think was brilliant, and that's okay. The goalposts, I think, seem to keep on changing. So we have the standard that the big boys set of what a book should look like. And I think we should still aim to put out good quality stuff, but then you see the big boys put out some books that make you wonder how they got there. And yet here is Inner Sanctum, Remnant, and others that deserve to be on that list. And they're not, simply because they're self-published.
No, I get you. I understand. And yeah, I do also believe that it's going to continue to grow and expand when it comes to indie writing, indie publishing, all that jazz. I mean, I'm in a Discord with with like 140 writers or something, so
it's actually a bit discouraging, actually, to see how many writers are out there, because
there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's many.
There's how do you get your story seen when there's 50,000 other people writing?
Well,
right?
Yeah, I mean, we're small fish in a very big pond. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but once you have in my opinion, if you have a good support system and people who support you and are behind you and are fans of your books, or they respond to your messages and they give you feedback and they help you with the editing, the formatting, whatever it is, then those are people you want to keep in your corner. Just like Rocky Balboa, had Mickey and he had Adrian.
Yeah.
So. All you need is a Mickey, an Adrian, a Paulie. Well, maybe not a Paulie. He was a bit of a schemer. But, just get that kind of a group in your corner, and, you can take down Apollo Creeds to I Would Dragos. You can do it all.
Yeah.
So just remember, Darlene, I had the tiger. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I have the tiger. You had the edge.
It's been a long time since I saw that movie.
Well, why don't you sit down and watch it? We're going to be snowed in for the next, 2 to 3 weeks. You might as well make the most. Well, by the way, I'm not saying it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks. I'm just making that up as I go. But with the storm, it's going to affect a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. So, we're not going anywhere for a few days. You're probably not going to be going anywhere for a few days, maybe a week. So you might as well just use it to Netflix and chill, or binge watch.
Sanctum too.
Finish writing Inner Sanctum 2 so you can get it out to the masses.
Yes, exactly.
And make the New York Times bestseller lists, because we would rather see you than a lot of other individuals who have been named on that list recently. I guess. I don't know. But still, I dig it. And I completely understand where you're coming from. Who is one author, living or dead, that you would love to have a conversation with?
Oh, that's a good question.
Any author. Could be any author, any genre.
Any author, any genre.
Yeah, and it has to be an author that's living or dead, either one.
Well,
I know there's only so many to choose from, but still.
There's what's in between living and dead.
I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. But go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Which author?
It's a name.
Surprisingly, up until this point, it probably would have been Lucy Maud Montgomery. Author of Anne of Green Gables.
Oh yeah.
And the story goes that that at the time she wrote it, was during that time women were not seen as authors. Like a lot of women, if they were writing, were taking men's names because they just wouldn't get recognized. But she wrote Anne of Green Gables, and no publisher would take it. So it sat in a desk drawer for 6 years before it was published. And now it's, 150 years now? 120 years. But up until her, up until now, it would have been her. But more recently, I would love to have a conversation with Malala.
I'm not familiar with this individual.
Malala.
Oh, okay.
Her.
Finding My Way. Okay.
This was her second book. I read her first one. And she was in that book, she told about her experience with standing up for girls' education in Pakistan, and how the Taliban shot her in the face, and her and her family immigrated to England so she could actually get better medical treatment there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And her first book, I Am Malala, I felt was actually really inspiring, how they tried to not only for girls' education, but they really her family really has a heart for the people around them, for seeing the kids just scrounging some sort of food out of the landfills, like, and seeing these people without education who can't read. And her mother was one who was, you know, a middle-aged woman who, because of that the belief system in Pakistan at the time, and for centuries leading up to that, it was a tradition. Women weren't allowed to learn to read. They weren't even allowed to go to the market without a man from their family present. And I found it was just, and that's the extreme part of the belief system of where they came from. And that women have to cover their faces; they can't be seen. And one of the things that at the end of her book, she reveals once they had immigrated to England, her mother had decided finally to not wear the veil anymore. And it's just for a woman of her age to have grown up in that culture where this is required of all women, and to finally feel like I can take this off. That was just mind-blowing to me, how the courage it took for her to do that against centuries of tradition. And the phrase that really hit me at the time was just, women should not have to hide themselves. They should not have to hide who God made them. And yeah, so I found that first story really inspiring. And once I saw she had a second book, it was a no-brainer for me to have it on my Christmas list. So I would love to meet Malala.
Oh, that's inspiring. Yeah, that's definitely inspiring. Definitely inspiring. There's no doubt about it. And
she's amazing.
So outside of those two books, what is one book that belongs on everyone's bookshelf that is not one of your own or the ones you just mentioned?
Good question. I'd have to go look at my to-be-read pile.
Oh, gee willikers. Come on.
And I have 400 of them sitting there. Since we're kind of in a Star Wars, Star Trek-y sort of bent, if you haven't already done so, especially for those who are fans of the Holy Trilogy, Star Trek, Empire, Jedi, you need to read the Heir to the Empire series.
Timothy Zahn.
Yeah.
Yep. I get that. It's on my TBR. I have all three as a box set that my friend got me as a gift many moons ago. Yeah, I haven't read it yet.
I'm midway through book 2.
All right, Laura, I haven't read it yet. I'm so sorry, but I know you got me that gift because you trusted me to read the books. I have every intention of reading all three of them, okay? It's going to happen. Yeah. I will say, even though I haven't read Heir to the Empire yet, I had the pleasure of meeting and talking with Timothy Zahn.
Oh, cool.
And I said, Timothy, I'm just curious. what is a piece of advice that you would give to new writers out there in the world? And he says, just keep at it.
Yeah.
Just keep at it. Don't stop writing. If you want to write something and you want to have an idea for a story, whatever it is, just keep at it. Just keep at it. Keep going. And I said, okay. Appreciate that. Would you sign these for me, please? Yeah. And he did. No, he did. He signed Heir to the Empire for me. He signed that one. It's a paperback with the Legends cover on it, the Legends side of it, the remastered version, whatever it is. And then he also signed the newer books that have come out recently, Thrawn. He signed the Thrawn book written by him. So that was really cool. And yes, we took a selfie together. It's on our social media. That's really cool. And I took a picture of the autographs. You can find that there. It's on our social media channels. You can find it on Instagram. I believe it's on TikTok, if not our Facebook pages. So Timothy's on very, very good to me. Comic-Con, very, very good to me.
Yeah.
Because I've been going to Comic-Cons for 13 going on 14 years, and I freaking love Comic-Cons. They're the best thing since sliced.
Comic-Con.
They're the best thing since sliced bread.
I don't have the budget.
No, hey,
Comic-Con, though. I haven't had the budget since like 2020.
Oh, okay.
Last time I went is 2021.
I hope you get a chance to go back to it because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a pretty good one here in Niagara on this side of the border.
Niagara, okay.
Yeah.
Isn't there one called Niagara Falls or Niagara Comic-Con? Something like that?
There is Niagara Comic-Con, I think, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was the one I was thinking of, yeah.
On this side of the border. There's also, Hamilton has one, which is
Hamilton,
like 20 minutes away.
There you go, Hamilton, yeah.
Yeah, but it depends on who's going, because, I mean, if there's actors there that I'm not really interested in, I'm not paying $80.
I get that.
And I'm one of the ones that has to have the full weekend package.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I respect that.
Yeah, I don't just go for the one day.
I
can't shop. I can't just have one day to shop.
It's too much to see.
It really is.
There's too much to see. Yeah, I get a weekend pass.
Talking with other creative people, because there's so many people, so many artists.
Networking. Yeah,
exactly. And it's just, I love talking with creative people. It's one of the reasons I love going to art shows and flea markets and things. Because we have such a unique way of looking at the world, and it comes out in whatever art we do. So, like, my art is words and music. Someone else's is glassware. Someone else is making clothes, like upcycling furniture. Like
clothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, mine are writing words on a page and podcasting. Those are my trades. So that's what I know best.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, no, Comic-Cons are a lot of fun. The 3-day package, I understand. There are definitely certain actors that I am very jazzed to meet when the occasion calls for it. So, and then when you budget your money, and then sometimes you have to go over the budget, especially if they bring in someone at the last minute. You're like, doggone it.
Yeah.
I set up to spend this amount of money, now I'm going to spend this amount of money. How dare you, sir? How dare you? But listen, I'm doing this for. I know. In the words of Futurama, shut up and take my money. Yeah, I've been doing this for 13 years, so believe me, there are times when I've stuck within the budget. There have definitely been a number of times where I've gone way over my budget, Darlene, and I hate myself for doing it, but I do it anyway, because for certain celebrities, you're thinking to yourself, well, we only live once. You got to go big or you got to go home when it comes to this business.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents. But yes, please come up. If you're going to a Comic-Con, do your best to stick within your budget so you don't spend too much money, because at the end of the day, we do need enough money to keep the lights on.
Yes.
So just keep. I know it kind of goes without saying, but I'm just giving this as a piece of friendly advice. If you're new to the convention circuit, go and have fun, but also make sure you have a budget for yourself and stick to that budget. That's the best piece of advice I can give you. So, I mean, in other words, may the force be with you. With that being said, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Darlene Oakley for being our guest on this week's episode of And I Quote. Darlene, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to sit down and talk with us about what it's like to be a writer and all this other stuff about reading these wonderful books, casting these wonderful actors or actresses to play these roles, should it ever come to fruition, which I hope it does, because as soon as you mentioned Henry Cavill, my ears just pricked. I'm like, okay, now that's my dog right there. That's my boy. I'm in. But if someone wants to know more about you and purchase copies of your books, where can they follow you on social media, Darlene?
Easiest place to find me is on Facebook. I'm a Facebook junkie. Messenger junkie, probably on there far too much. I'm also my book is also available from my website, darsbooks.com. They're available on Amazon as well, but I also have a books.buy page, Dar's Books. Books.buy is based in Australia, and they give more royalties to writers, and that's a relatively new thing, so people might not have heard about that. But books.buy/Dar's Books. Anything that's any copy, hard copy that's purchased through my website gets signed. And you also receive a key necklace. So a key, it's actually a real key that is like about this big. And I actually found a supplier. I'm sounding like a druggie, but a supplier in Sudbury, where Inner Sanctum takes place. Jay's Bottles, I believe it is. And he had a whole bunch of these little keys. So I have a whole bunch of these little keys on a necklace for anyone who purchases a hard copy of Inner Sanctum Revenant off my site. If you get in contact with me through Facebook and purchase directly, I will also send you one.
You are too kind.
Yeah.
You are just too bloody kind, my love.
I have sweatshirts available too.
Hey, it's that time of year, folks. Everything's getting chilly willy vanilly around here, so we could use some new swagger. Yeah,
and I hope to have, this one is for book one.
There you go.
And I do hope to have one out for each copy. And each book has a very similar design, but different colors. So each one is going to be a different color.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Darlene. I'm going to talk to you here again momentarily, so stick around for me. Feel free to grab some coffee and some nice sweet treats in our non-existent physical green room in the backstage area of our non-existent studio. But see, I'm trying to make you laugh here. Am I doing a good job of it? Probably not. But there it is. So my name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. Follow me across all. I see you laughing back there. Follow me across all forms of social media. Where am I pointing to? Where is it? There it is. At And I Quote Channel. We are on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. The whole nine. If you want to find out more about the conventions we've been to in the past, some of the ones we're going to be visiting this year for 2026, I do want to let you know that we are going to be appearing at Farpoint Convention in Towson, Maryland next weekend, January the 30th through February 1st. We will be there, and I'm going to be there on a panel that's going to be discussing a topic known as "Is James Bond Science Fiction?" ? I'm going to be on that panel talking about James Bond and whether it's science fiction or not. That is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm also going to be looking forward to seeing you there and networking with other writers and all the other wonderful vendors that are going to be there. FarpointCon.com is where you want to check out the scheduling, the tickets, the hotel information. Get your tickets. Find a place to stay near the convention so you can join us there, have some fun, make a weekend vacation out of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of great people are going to be there, including myself, Ryan of And I Quote Channel. Also, we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Once we hit the magical number known as 5, we will have a live stream that will include giveaways that you, the incredible person who's watching or listening to this program right now, are going to be eligible to win. Also, the seasons are changing, so we got merch. We got hoodies, we got shirts, we got stickers you can add to your water bottles, coffee mugs, notebooks, maybe writing journals for Darlene to use as she's writing her next great big idea for the next great big book series. It's all available on our Redbubble store. The link is in my link tree located in the description of this video down below. Or if you visit us on Instagram or Facebook, it is linked in our bios respectively. Also, my short story that I wrote last year, Wolf of the West, is part of the great anthology known as Western Tales, Volume 1, published by Veritas Entertainment. It's available on Amazon right now. You can purchase a copy of it in ebook, paperback, or hardcover. 16 different writers, 15 different stories, because one of the stories was, in fact, written by 2 people, are featured in this anthology. And thank you so much to Veritas Entertainment for publishing my short story, Wolf of the West. Had a lot of fun writing it, and I hope you enjoyed reading it amongst the many other great stories put together by some great writers out there. So do not forget to check all that out. And friendly reminder, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when the videos go up or they go live. And I Quote is on Saturdays, 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Movie watch-alongs and other forms of special programming are going to be held on Fridays at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And also, remember, life is better when supporting indie creators from all over the world. Take a look.
Strelin of Ulia is a cursed man, and cursed men are dangerous. He has traveled the known world seeking a way to lift his curse. So far, he has not found what he is looking for. When Trellin arrives in the city of Anshi, in the nation of Paraba, he meets a cold reception. The desert nation is unforgiving. Its people have proven untrustworthy, and the locals have no love for foreigners. Now, a wealthy stranger offers to lift Trellin's curse for a price, and he must make a choice. Seek a solution elsewhere, or risk imprisonment in the Tower of Ruhak, a place from whence no man has ever escaped. The known world of Atera, The Prisoner of Ruhak Tower. Now available on Amazon in paperback and on Kindle.
There it is. Luckily for you, you won't have to go through half of what I went through to get your copy. All you have to do is place an order. Treasure is My Trade is out now. Don't miss your chance.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.